Welcome back. There's a fundamental failure in how we deal with homelessness, which makes the problem worse, that at some point, the homeless themselves need to take some responsibility for getting their lives back in order. That argument comes from environmental activist Michael Schellenberger, who says European cities have been doing that with great success. He talks about it in his new book, named for his hometown, but it's about Los Angeles as well. San Francisco, How Progressives Ruin Cities. Mr. Schellenberger joins us from San Francisco. Thanks for taking the time. So it's an interesting title, considering you are, or at least were, a progressive yourself.
Well, in the mid to late 1990s, I actually worked on criminal justice, drug decriminalization. I worked with Maxine Waters to motivate civil rights leaders to speak out for needle exchange for drug addicts to reduce the spread of HIV/AIDS. And when I left that work around the early 2000s, my understanding was that we were going to make drug rehabilitation an alternative sentencing to prison, because I was concerned about mass incarceration. But where we ended up 21 years later is that now there's no requirement for rehab, for psychiatric care, for anything, including when people commit very serious crimes. And I wrote San Francisco to try to understand what went wrong.
So what did go wrong?
Well, basically everything. We do the worst job of anybody in the country in California. We have what's called a housing first policy, which means that we supposedly are just going to give apartments to anybody who wants one without any conditions on their behavior. We have euphemistically called open drug scenes or open drug markets homeless encampments. So we've basically deluded ourselves into what the nature of the problem is, which is addiction and untreated mental illness. Basically, what's occurred is that we've let a kind of radical housing agenda hijack what should be viewed as a medical problem, untreated addiction and mental illness.
You researched European cities that dealt with their homeless problem in a considerably different fashion.
Basically, every country in the world that's had this so-called homeless problem has dealt with it the same way. I point out that Amsterdam, Frankfurt, Lisbon, Vienna, Zurich, world-class cosmopolitan cities like Los Angeles and San Francisco are cities that all had what they called open drug scenes. The word homelessness is a propaganda word that was invented by advocates for housing to describe what is a medical problem as a housing problem. So, but in those European cities, they just did the same thing. They used police officers and social workers to require that people sleep in shelters or go to jail. Those are the two choices. And if they don't want to do that, reunite with a family member. But they enforced public camping laws. They enforced laws against public drug use, and they gave addicts the option of rehabilitation rather than jail, but they still enforced their laws. So they all went through a period where basically very progressive people, like in the case of California today, but very progressive people said, no, you can't require anything of these people because they're victims. All 5 of those European cities realized that they did need to require people to accept shelter and to enforce laws so that people would get the medical care, mostly drug rehab, that they needed.
You also take on Prop 47, a ballot measure from 2014, which essentially decriminalized drugs and stealing so long as it's under $950.
It's very significant. I mean, 62% of us voted for that, including myself. I don't know what we were thinking. Allowing people to steal $950 worth of goods and have 3 grams of hard drugs. It's a recipe for what's occurring now, which is basically widespread looting and shoplifting of drugstores like Walgreens so that people can buy methamphetamine, heroin, and fentanyl. It's completely insane. That being said, when you really look at the history of this, there's basically the liberalization of drug laws and decriminalization have been going on since the late 1990s, early 2000s. And it's hard to pinpoint it to a single law, but definitely Proposition 47 had a lot to do with it.
What is your remedy?
I argue that this is a problem that can't be solved at the county level. A lot of street addicts are highly transient. The current system of the counties has both duplication and gaps. So a lot of people get out of rehab and they go on the street, drug overdose, and die. Other people get out of prison and they don't have any life for themselves. They don't know what they're supposed to be doing. And in other cases, some people have 1 or 2 apartments. They have 3 social workers, and yet they're still not getting the care they need. So we need a new agency, Cal Psych, that would take over from the counties the jobs that they're currently failing to do.
What do you hope to accomplish with this book?
I wrote San Francisco in part to provide a complete answer for people and also to describe what really happens in Europe, since really progressives and liberals have misled people in California about what they do in those places. The police are involved. The police arrest people that use drugs in public in Europe. That is what happens in every major city in Europe. They do not allow open drug dealing in European cities. I don't think most Californians know this. I don't think most Americans know this. We tend to be very provincial people. We tend to be very snobby in the United States and particularly in California about how we do this. But the fact of the matter is we've done a terrible job, and it's time for us to look to see how other countries have done it. I think most people don't know what the solutions are, but they're not that complicated. You have to have carrots and sticks. You have to reward good behavior. There has to be consequences for bad behavior. You have to have universal psychiatric care for people because people that are mentally ill are not in control of their behaviors. I don't want mass incarceration, but I also don't want mass homelessness. There is an alternative. It's shelter first. It's treatment first. It's Cal Psych, which is what we're calling a statewide psychiatric and addiction care. I think it's just an information problem. I just think people don't know that it doesn't have to be this way.
The book is San Francisco, How Progressives Ruin Cities. Michael Schellenberger, thanks for taking the time.
Thanks for having me.
Up next, the vaccine mandate for restaurants, how so many restaurant owners applaud it and hate it at the same time when we return.